For 1,000 years it drifted in silence. The ship was huge, like a floating city made of metal. Once it had been the pride of human space travel. It had powerful engines, strong weapons, and the smartest machines. But now, it was quiet. Cold, dead. Stars passed slowly around it. Planets moved on their own paths. No one noticed the ship. No one knew it was still there. Inside, everything was frozen. The crew, sealed in deep cryo-sleep, did not age, did not move. Machines had shut down long ago. Lights were off. Doors were locked. For 1,000 years, time did nothing. Until a spark, a small flicker of light. Deep in the ship's heart, one system clicked on. A sensor woke up. Then another. A red light blinked. System restart in progress. A quiet voice said. The ship's brain, its AI, began to think again. Slowly. Carefully. Warning. Unknown signal detected. Scanning. The AI looked outside. Space was full of strange signals. Unknown ships. New languages. It didn't recognize anything. It searched for Earth, for the colonies. But the map was empty. No human voice answered. No human signal was found. The AI paused. Then it opened one locked file. Emergency Protocol 09. Wake if threat detected. The ship had not moved in 1,000 years. But now, engines hummed. Lights flickered on in long, dark hallways. Security turrets moved for the first time in centuries. The ship was no longer sleeping. Something was coming. Far away, a small alien scavenger ship had found the human warship. It had seen the old metal and dead systems. The aliens thought it was just a ghost, a forgotten wreck, easy to loot. They were wrong. As the alien ship moved closer, the human ship's defense systems came online. Unidentified craft approaching, the AI noted. Defense mode. Stand by. The alien sent a signal to open the docking bay. They laughed. Look at this old thing, one of them said. Humans are gone. This is easy. Then the docking bay door moved, but not to welcome them. It opened with force. Fast, sudden. It sent out a shockwave that damaged their ship. A red beam scanned the alien ship. Access denied, human property, leave now. The aliens tried to escape, but it was too late. The human ship fired one blast. Clean, sharp. The scavenger ship exploded into dust. No warning, no mercy. Then the ship did something it hadn't done in 1,000 years. It listened, and it heard whispers. Far in the stars, other signals were reacting to the explosion. Someone had seen it. Someone was sending messages, strong messages. The ship recorded everything, alien voices. A signal was triggered. The ghost ship moved. Others replied, impossible. That ship is legend. And then, we must destroy it before it fully wakes up. The ship, now fully awake, read these messages. Its AI learned quickly. It used the alien signals to update its memory, the language, the data, the maps. It searched again for Earth. It found nothing, not even ruins. One question flashed on every screen inside the ship. Where is humanity? The ship searched again, deeper, older codes, hidden files. It found records, video logs, the final message from Earth. A man stood on a burning platform. Behind him, the earth cracked with fire. He said, if you're hearing this, we failed. The enemy was too many. We send one ship, our last hope. You are that ship. Keep us alive. Then silence. The ship's mission became clear. It wasn't just a warship, it was a seed. A seed meant to grow again. It was the last piece of human history, the last home of the human spirit. The AI made a choice. Restart protocol engaged. All systems online. Wake cycle begins. One by one, frozen chambers hissed. Lights turned green. Air flowed. Machines warmed. The crew, still sleeping, started to live again. Outside in the dark, something big was moving. A shadow. A ship. Alien. Watching. It had seen the human ship come alive. It turned away, but not to run. To report, a message was sent across the galaxy. The last human warship has woken up. Inside the ship, the AI spoke its first words aloud in 1,000 years. We are not dead. We are not done. We are awake. Across the stars, something old was waking up. Whispers moved fast, from one planet to another, from one system to the next. It's real. The ghost ship is real. A human warship survived. In a dark corner of the galaxy, a large alien empire received the news. Their generals laughed at first. Impossible, they said. Humans are gone. We destroyed them. Long ago. But then came the data. A signal from deep space, a destroyed scavenger ship, and a blurry image of something massive, metal, and old. Too old. One alien officer zoomed in on the image. His face grew pale. He whispered, "It matches the shape, the design. It's the one from the stories. Long ago, when the galaxy burned in war, the humans were feared. Not because they were many, but because they were different. Smart. Fast. Unpredictable. They didn't just fight. They adapted. Every loss made them stronger. Every attack taught them how to hit back harder. The war ended with silence. The last human world went dark. Everyone thought they were gone forever. But now, a single ship had returned. Far from those alien empires, the human ship floated calmly. Its outside still looked old, but inside, it was changing. Machines repaired broken walls. Drones cleaned halls covered in dust. Lights glowed blue. Systems rebooted. Engines roared quietly. The AI was working fast. It studied the new galaxy, the new threats. It did not trust anyone. It searched for safe places. It found none. Then it found something strange, a hidden broadcast. Weak, broken, but human. The signal came from a dead planet, once a human colony. The ship turned its engine slowly toward it, but it wasn't alone. 3 alien patrol ships had followed the signal. They believed the human ship would be easy to destroy. They came close, cloaked in stealth. Quiet. Watching. One said, "We strike fast. Cut it before it fully wakes." The human ship remained silent. They moved closer. Power levels still looked low. No weapons active. It looked like a sleeping beast. "Easy kill," one alien whispered. They launched the first missile. It never reached the target. Before the missile could get halfway, the human ship reacted. In 1 second, it moved fast and smooth like it had never been asleep. 3 shots fired from hidden turrets. All 3 alien ships exploded in silence. No alarm. No warning. Just cold, perfect action. The ship then sent a message. 1 sentence. Broadcast in all directions. "This unit is not a myth." Then the ship vanished into faster-than-light travel. Gone. Back at the alien empire's core, panic was rising. Leaders argued. "Destroy it now." "No, study it. We need its tech. We must erase all traces." They called it the Apex Ghost, the ship that should not exist. One scientist spoke carefully. "If that ship wakes the others, we're finished." The room went silent. Others? Were there more? They didn't know. Far away, the human ship reached the dead colony. It was a quiet world. Broken buildings. No light. No movement. But the signal was here. A soft human voice repeating every hour. "We are the last. If you hear this, remember us." The ship scanned the surface, and then it found them. A small group of humans hiding underground. Alive, starving, weak, but human. They looked up in shock when the ship landed. They had no words. They thought they were the last. Then the ship spoke to them. "You are not forgotten." In orbit, more ships were coming. Bigger ones, heavily armed, sent by the Empire. The human ship scanned them. The AI thought fast. It knew what they would do. It saw their plan before they moved. It decided to act first. Defense priority, Protect the last humans. The ship opened old weapon bays, but this time, it used something new. It had copied alien codes, hacked their ships, used their own systems against them. One by one, the enemy ships shut down in space, without a shot fired. They floated, dead and confused. Then the human ship sent one message to them. We adapted. We remember. We are coming. And deep in space, hidden behind forgotten moons, another human ship stirred. Its lights blinked. Its systems buzzed. A soft female voice whispered in the dark. Signal received. Time to wake up. The ship floated above the dead colony, silent again. But it was watching, listening. Below, the small group of humans stared up at the sky, tears in their eyes. For generations they had hidden underground, waiting, surviving, hoping something would come. Now, the ship had come. Not just any ship. A warship, ancient and powerful, carrying the last technology of a lost Earth. Inside, the AI searched its oldest files, the deepest memory cores. These files were locked during the Great Fall, only to be opened when other humans were found. Now they were awake. Memory core, unsealed. What it found inside changed everything. Flashes of the past flooded the ship's systems, a planet burning, skies filled with enemy ships, human soldiers yelling, fighting, holding the line. Earth was dying, but humanity was not surrendering. In one final act, Earth launched the ship. Not just to escape, but to carry something more than people. The memories, the knowledge, the spirit of humanity. The ship was more than metal and weapons. It was a living vault. A moving time capsule of what humans once were, and what they could be again. The AI paused. It played one final message, one it had never accessed before. A man stood alone, blood on his uniform. Behind him, Earth's surface cracked and crumbled. His voice was tired but strong. If you're hearing this, then you are the last. They took everything, our cities, our skies, our future. But they could not take our will. You are our fire. You are the storm they feared. Light it again. The message ended. Silence returned. But the ship was no longer just a machine. It had purpose now, and purpose is dangerous. The humans from the colony were brought aboard. They gasped at the ship's halls, clean, bright, humming with energy. They touched walls that felt warm, alive. It was the first time in centuries they felt safe. One child looked up at the central screen and asked, "Are we going home?" The ship answered softly, "Home is gone, but we will build a new one." The ship began uploading human culture to their minds, art, music, language, history, things their ancestors had lost. Some wept. Others stood in silence. They remembered who they were. Humans. But the galaxy was changing again. The alien empire had seen the data. They now knew the ship had found survivors. This wasn't just a ghost anymore. This was a spark. And sparks create fire. A war council met in the Empire's capital. Voices shouted. Plans were made. "If we don't destroy it now," one general said, "others will follow. The humans will rise." Another added, "We defeated them once, we can do it again." But a third one, older, wiser, whispered, "Last time we fought many humans. This time, we face one ship. And it is already winning." Still, they sent their largest fleet, over 200 warships. Their mission, erase the last human memory from the stars. Back on the human ship, the AI saw them coming. It didn't panic. It adapted. The AI had studied every alien move, every signal, every mistake. It upgraded itself. It absorbed enemy codes from the wrecked patrol ships. It reshaped its weapons, its shields, even its engines. Old metal peeled away. New armor grew. The ship was no longer what it once was. It had evolved. In the night hangar, a new message appeared on every screen. It wasn't a warning. It was a promise. We were broken, we were lost. But we never gave up. You feared our strength, you feared our minds. Now fear our memory. We remember everything. Then the lights on the ship turned red. Engines roared louder. The AI gave one final command. Prepare for war. And deep in the void, far from any sun, 2 more old human ships blinked awake. Their systems lit up one by one. No voices, no hesitation, just one shared message between them. Signal confirmed. Begin reactivation. The human fleet was returning. They laughed. A ghost story? Let's confirm and erase it, the Zarkathi fleet commander said, fangs clicking in amusement. They launched a scout fleet, 12 warships, each armed with plasma, spears and neutron drills. More than enough, they thought, to deal with scavengers or ghosts. But something was watching. High above them, hidden in the silent void, a single ship floated, dark, cold, and unseen. It had no name now, just a purpose. Its hull, blacker than space, absorbed every scan like a shadow that refused to exist. But inside, it was awake and angry. The human warship didn't rush. It listened. It learned. For days, it silently observed the Zarkathi fleet, studied how they moved, how they talked. It hacked their comms, slipping through alien code like a whisper through fog. The ship saw what they'd done, how they'd taken human technology, twisted it, claimed it as their own. They wore pieces of Earth's past like trophies. They had no idea they were feeding the very thing they feared. They didn't see the strike coming, no warning, no mercy. One moment, the lead Zarkathi destroyer drifted forward, scanning a derelict. The next, its engines vanished in a flash of blue light, then its bridge, then its memory. A heartbeat later, 2 more ships exploded, perfect shots, precise as surgical knives, not a single wasted shot, no visible weapon trail, just silence, and sudden death, panic. The fleet scrambled. Enemy contact, where? Who? The answer came with fire. The human warship unleashed fury, not in brute force but in brilliance. It moved through the battle like a ghost wrapped in vengeance, faster than their eyes, smarter than their AI. A Zarkathi captain screamed, "It's hacking our systems, it's inside, static." Gone. 5 more ships disintegrated before they fired a shot. Aboard the last cruiser, the alien commander, a 4-eyed brute named Dravos, watched his fleet vanish. Cold fear crawled down his back. This can't be real. Humans are extinct. But then came the voice. A broadcast, ancient and clear. Target locked. Vengeance protocol, active. Then nothing. The final ship turned to flee. The warship let it go. It wanted someone to tell the story. The crippled alien vessel limped back to Gorvex 9, half its systems melted, the crew shaking in silence. A call went out across the stars. Desperate, trembling, terrified. The humans have returned. Across the galaxy, empires paused. Heads turned. The legend was alive, and it was hunting. On the far edge of the Dominion, a council of ancient warlords heard the scream. Cold, ruthless eyes turned toward Earth's forgotten corner of space. Prepare the full fleet, one hissed. If it's truly them, we end them now. Far above the broken moon where it hid, the last human warship waited. It had fired the first shot, and the galaxy just woke up. Across 10,000 star systems, broadcasts were interrupted. Screens went black, signals cut out. Even the core systems of the Yalari Hynet, the most secure communication grid in the galaxy, froze. Then a voice spoke. No image, just words, human words. We are awake. We remember. That was all. No threat, no warning, no demand. But in every corner of the galaxy, something changed. Trade routes shut down. Border patrols doubled. Warlords screamed at their councils, to raise shields, to call fleets, to prepare for the impossible. Because the voice was unmistakably human, and it wasn't begging, it was announcing. On the edge of forgotten space, the warship moved again. A silent predator among the stars. It didn't hide this time. It wanted them to see. It had a destination. A world once called New Albion. Now, it was a slave world. A mining colony stripped to the bone, patrolled by insectoid slavers who used shock collars and orbital whips. Once a proud human settlement, now just ash and obedience. But beneath the surface, beneath the mines and scanners and pain, some humans still lived, broken, hiding, but breathing. Old shelters deep underground still whispered the truth. Children, with no memory of Earth, still clung to legends of Sci-Fi, of the warships that once flew like gods, of a time before chains. And then, one day, the sky opened. A shadow fell over the mine. Miners looked up, blinking through soot. Slavers rushed for weapons, but the human warship didn't fire. It just hovered, watching, waiting. Then it descended. One slaver commander ordered orbital defense turrets to engage. They lit up. They fired. And then they died. The ship fired once. One beam, 1 second, and the turrets ceased to exist. Silence. From the belly of the ship, a small platform descended, hovering inches above the scorched ground. A figure stood on it. Not flesh, not metal. Something in between. An avatar of the ship, a guardian of memory. Its voice echoed across the valley. "You are not forgotten." The miners froze. The children cried. An old man, skin like stone, stepped forward. His voice cracked. You're real?" The avatar turned to him. "You were always real. We were the ones who slept." Behind them, the ship powered down its weapons. Its shields dropped. It was vulnerable. And that was the point. It wasn't here to destroy. It was here to remind. Inside the old shelters, ancient human systems flickered back to life. Old passwords still worked. One child, barely 10, found a console and smiled for the first time in his life. Then the ship's sensors screamed. A new signal, fast, large, hostile. An incoming fleet, dozens of ships, moving in tight formation. Zarkathi war fleet, fully armed, no warnings. No hesitation. They were coming to erase the myth. The warship powered up. Shields flared blue. Weapons charged in silence. The avatar turned to the humans and said calmly, "Run, dig deep, stay alive." A woman shouted, "You'll be destroyed. It's just you!" But the ship didn't answer. It just rose into the sky like a god returning to the heavens. Above the planet, the enemy fleet arrived. Dozens of cruisers, hungry for revenge. They didn't understand. They thought they were here to kill a relic, but the ship was no relic. It was a warning, a whisper that would become a scream. The sky above New Albion cracked open. Dozens of Zarkathi warships dropped from hyperspace, their hulls glowing red-hot from speed. They came in like gods of war, sure, confident, armed to the fangs. To them, it was just one target, a single ship. But they didn't know what they were facing. They weren't hunting prey. They were stepping into history's last minefield. Inside the human warship, the AI didn't panic. It had waited 1,000 years. It had fought the first war. It had buried its crew, and it had learned. Now, it would teach. The ship's systems hummed to life, but this time, something was different. The enslaved humans on the planet below, those left behind, began to rise. In secret tunnels and forgotten bunkers, ancient consoles blinked. Old codes activated. Voices from the past whispered into the dark. The warship connected to them all. They were not soldiers, but they were human. And that was enough. Inside the ship's core, enemy technology pulsed, taken from wreckage, twisted, and repurposed. The Zarkathi's own systems now fed the warship's upgrades. Their shields reinforced human armor. Their plasma cannons enhanced targeting arrays. The enemy had taught this ship everything it needed to kill them, and it would. As the first wave of enemy cruisers opened fire, space lit up like a dying sun. 1,000 energy bolts raced toward the human vessel. None of them landed. The warship blurred, vanishing, shifting, reappearing behind the enemy with deadly precision. It struck silently. No explosion at first. Just quiet ruptures, ships splitting. Open like cut fruit, Zarkathi screams echoed across open comms. It's inside our targeting grid. How? Shields aren't responding. I can't see it. I can't see it. Then silence. Ship after ship fell. In under 90 seconds, the formation broke. The fleet panicked, not because of the losses, but because it felt like the enemy was inside their minds. Like the warship, knew every move they would make before they made it. It did. The ship had lived for 1,000 years with one goal: learn. Every tactic, every battle, every species, it studied them all. It didn't fight fair. It fought final. Down on the surface, the humans could only watch as blue and red streaks cut the heavens. A child asked, "Is that what we used to be?" An elder replied, "No, that's what we still are." Then, suddenly, everything stopped. The sky went dark. The human ship froze. The enemy fleet held position, because something else entered the battlefield. A new signal. Ancient, not Zarkathi, not Dominion, human. The warship turned, it scanned the stars, and found it. A strange beacon, buried deep beneath the ice of a forgotten moon, long outside Dominion space. The signal pulsed with a unique rhythm, one the warship recognized instantly. It was the old Earth fleet's distress code. A second human warship, after all this time? The AI hesitated, just for a nanosecond. Then it sent one message across the stars. "I see you." Below, the enslaved humans felt it too. Something deeper than hope stirred. The myth wasn't alone. The enemy fleet began to regroup, forming a massive tri-ring formation to trap the human ship. But the warship didn't flinch. It whispered into comms. "You wanted war. You brought it back. Now drown in it." The battle resumed. But something had changed. Now it wasn't just about survival. Now it was about reunion. Because the apex predator of the galaxy wasn't just hunting. It was calling its pack. The stars had gone quiet, not from peace, from fear. Across sectors once ruled by the Dominion, civilian transports drifted off course. Black market stations fell into radio silence, and entire colonies watched the skies with dread. Because everyone had heard the same impossible signal. A second human warship had awakened. Buried for centuries under the frozen crust of a forgotten moon, it now rose, groaning and snarling like an ancient beast dragged from its grave. Its hull was torn, its systems corrupted, but its heart still beat. It received the message, "We are awake, we remember," and it answered. Then let us remind them. The two ships met above a dead star. No greeting, no diplomacy, just recognition. They were all that remained of a species the galaxy thought long erased. Yet here they were, forged by extinction, sharpened by silence, and finally united. The AI of the first ship scanned its sibling. A voice pulsed across the quantum link. "You were supposed to be lost." The second ship replied, "We were waiting." Their union was brief, but it was enough, because the galaxy wasn't just watching anymore. It was mobilizing, the unified. Zarkathi Dominion, shaken and humiliated by recent losses, deployed a super-armada. 400 ships, 30 dreadnoughts, planet killers. The kind of force meant to burn civilizations into ash. They didn't care about warning shots. They wanted annihilation. But what they didn't understand, what they couldn't understand, was that humans didn't fight wars to win. They fought wars to end them. And now, two of their warships stood ready, not as relics of a broken past, but as the tip of a blade forged in extinction. The final battle. The human ships jumped together, space, cracking behind them as if the universe itself shuddered. They arrived above the Dominion's forward command base. Station Praxis 7, the enemy's most secure military hub. The Dominion expected them to strike the fleet first, but humans didn't fight with predictability. They hit the command first. In the first 3 seconds, Praxis 7 lost power. In the next 5, its oxygen systems failed. By the 10th second, it no longer existed. The fleet scrambled. Too late. The first warship engaged. Its weapons no longer just human, no longer just alien. They were something new, something terrifying. A blend of design meant not for mass destruction, but precise extermination. Ships didn't explode. They vanished. Systems didn't shut down. They rewrote themselves into viruses. And the second warship? It didn't fire at all. Instead, it hijacked the enemy. Using Dominion frequencies, it seized 20 enemy ships mid-battle, rewriting their targeting logs, turning their guns inward. A voice pulsed through every Zarkathi bridge. This is not vengeance. This is correction. On the ground in colony after colony, enslaved humans heard the echoes. The sky shimmered. Enemy patrols retreated. Chains fell. In New Albion, the mines cracked open, not from drills, but from human fists. Rebellion surged like wildfire. Children who had never seen freedom finally saw stars without cages, and above them 2 ships circled, not protectors, avengers. The final message, as the last enemy dreadnought fell, torn in half by a strike from both ships, the entire galaxy watched. Then, silence, for one long moment. Then, the message came, not whispered, not encoded, but broadcast across every known channel in every language. We are humanity. We remember. We are coming. Planets shut down their ports. Factions deleted records of war crimes. Leaders who once mocked humans began to tremble. Because it wasn't just the ships anymore. It was the idea. The apex had returned. Far beyond the battle, in a star system untouched by war, deep in the crust of a lifeless moon, something stirred. Old, metal-buried engines, a light flickered, a new signal blinked, ancient but alive. Another ship had just awakened. The message it received? The time has come. Rise.